Hello and welcome to the Success with Savita podcast, where we share hot tips on how to do life and business without losing your mind. I'm your host, Savita Nanjappa, entrepreneur, high-achieving 9-to-5er turned transformational success coach, helping you create a wildly successful business. Come hang out with me and other fabulous humans like you every week for stories and chats packed with a healthy dose of tips, resources, how-tos, and real talk. Side effects may include a happier and more confident you with each passing day. Hi and welcome to the Success with Savita podcast, and I'm launching in these solo episodes the Success series. And what that means is I want to share with you every secret, every hack, the conversations, the insights that I share with my clients during the coaching process, during the consulting process, things that I think makes meaning and makes sense to a larger audience. So we are launching the Success series, and you will have these bite-sized episodes from me dropping every Monday, of course. That's when our episodes will continue to drop. However, it's not just going to be only solos. We are going to continue to do a mix of both interviews and solos. This is by public demand, very popular. A lot of you have reached out to me, and I've also got feedback from my own clients saying that I should be putting out these kind of bite-sized episodes because sometimes, while I may have had the conversation with my clients, it's always great to have some of these episodes that people can go back to, that reinforces what I've been saying, that reinforces the coaching, so to say. And I think this is something that everyone will like and enjoy. But let me know what you think, of course, at the end of this episode. So with that, I launched the Success series, and I'm going to be sharing, not necessarily in a sequential manner, but I'm going to share them as and when it comes up. There's some insight, there's something that I think I should share with my audience. I'm going to come here and share that with you. With that, let's get started. Today, I want to talk about how success is an inner job. A lot of people over the years since I launched my business, it's going to be the 6th year, of course, have always asked me, I'm called Success with Savita. And what does that, how do I define success? I define success maybe very different from you, and we all do. For all of us, success means different things. And in that journey to success primarily means that you want to be happy, you want to have abundance, you want to have income, wealth, you want to live your life by design, you want to have freedom of choice, you want to have flexibility, you want to be able to do the things that you love doing, you also want time for your family. All of these things, right? They can define success. Maybe for you, it could be about impact, creating impact and changing their lives for the better of other people. Different things for different folks. However, the journey to success has many routes, of course, but always has one or a few things which are the stepping stones to success. So if you look at successful leaders, CEOs, founders, artists, creatives, sports people, anyone that you look up to who've had an impact on you, somebody that you admire, somebody's life, jobs, roles that you admire, anyone that you admire, you will see that there are these commonalities, there are these common traits that everyone displays. That thread that is common to most success stories, right? And of course, they are hard work, grit, discipline, dedication, commitment, all of those. But they all begin with one part, which is the mindset piece. And I always talk about mindset, and people think, you're always talking about mindset, and all coaches talk about mindset. But it is critical. It is critical for your success in any area of your life. It's not just at work. It's not just in business. It's not just in your career. And I'm going to start by sharing that first step, which I use in my own coaching framework. Literally, the first question or my early questions are designed to identify what are those mindsets that people are carrying. Because, if it's to make money, or if it's to, build a fantastic career, if it's to build a business, there are enough lessons out there. There are enough frameworks out there. There are many people out there consulting who can help you. There are courses, there are programs, there are accelerators, all of these which can help you build a business. But one thing that is that can't really be taught too much but has to be learned is the mindset piece. And today I want to talk about how success is an inner game. If you want to be successful, you have got to decide that you're going to be successful. You have this can-do spirit and you have self-belief. Not everybody begins from that place, right? Sometimes the journeys are different. But at some point during that journey, people have decided that they are going to make this work for them, that they are going to be successful. And in that process and in that journey, you change as well. Success does not always in each phase remain the same, right? At every given, maybe during college, you have a certain amount of success. You need to have some of those qualities that will make you successful in your educational career, right? And then once you're done with your education, when you have to get your first job, there's a different set of skill sets that you've got to develop, mindsets that you've got to develop. So at each stage, you are also changing. And what I mean by success is an inner game is the fact that as you go down this path of building this career, building this life, designing your life, trying to be this best version of yourself, it's a decision that you make that you want this and you're going to make it happen. And I think that's literally the first lesson, if you want a takeaway from me, would be even before you decide XYZ goals, XYZ milestones, you've got to stop at some point and ask yourself if you have the mindset that is a can-do spirit that is telling you that I know to become the successful person, the person that I see myself as, there are some things I've got to change in me. There are some things that I may need to improve in me. There are some strengths that I've got to anchor into. And then maybe some, weaker areas that are a challenge for me that I need to improve to get me to where I'm going. In my coaching framework, one of the questions that I ask people, which tells me everything about whether the person who's sitting in front of me is coachable or not, because successful people are willing to learn. Remember that, right? You're willing to learn. You're willing to learn from the experiences of others, or you're willing to learn from your own lessons. Life is giving you lessons every single day, and you're willing to learn from that. There is no such thing as forever failures. Failures always teach you something, but provided your mind is open and you're willing to learn. Because if your mind is not open and you're not willing to take away the lessons that you're being given by the universe, it's not people, it's not anybody else that's dishing out these lessons, but are there those takeaways that you're taking from all these lessons that's coming to you from the universe, from what life throws at you? If you're willing to be open and reflect, there will be takeaways for you that is going to strengthen you, that is going to take you, and it's going to be teachable moments that's going to help you succeed in your journey. All right? No failure is a game stopper. But what is a game stopper is when you refuse to see the lesson for what it is, right? And there are two different groups of people. Sometimes there are people saying, I didn't do this, I have nothing to learn. And, there are the victims who are blaming everybody else for their failure. And then there's the other group who are, who take it so hard upon themselves, who are perfectionists, who don't give themselves an opportunity to fail and who take failure very hard. And sometimes when they get stuck there and it may becomes a limiting belief, they don't allow themselves to learn the lesson and move forward. Let's go back to schooling. You had these different subjects. There may be some subjects that you didn't do well. Maybe some of you, and maybe even me, I think I've had quite a few failures in life, for sure. But there may have been some subjects that you have not done well and you may have even failed at from a marks perspective. But that doesn't mean that you stopped there and said, okay, let me just stay in this grade and never move forward. You did move forward, right? You did continue. You did whatever it took. Some people take tutorials, some people take extra help, some people focus more. You did all of that to continue moving forward. So when you allow failure to become a game stopper for you and you decide, no, this is not for me, you're giving up and you're refusing to take the lesson. A big tell for me when I am coaching, one question that I ask people, and it tells me, like I said, everything about whether they're coachable or not. And in fact, it's a defining factor that I've made in the early days. It wasn't, but now I know The answer to that question will define if I'm going to take on that client or not. And that question is, who do you need to become? For this, I always ask them what their goals are and what's their vision and what's their plan, right? What do they want to achieve? What do they desire? And then the next question that I ask them is, therefore, while you're pursuing this, who do you need to become? What are some things that you've got to learn? What are some things that's got to change in you that will help you take you to this goal of yours? And almost always, I have to say, the answer is people will say, yeah, I mean, I think, I have to become more confident, or I think I need to let go of this belief, or sometimes the answer is also that I'm not sure, which is a good place, because if you're not sure, you'll find out, because you don't have all the answers, and you're willing to find out, and you're willing to learn, and you're willing to have that growth mindset and be open, right? But here's the kicker. I've had one or two people who have actually responded saying, I'm great the way I am, and I don't need to change anything. I just need to, go ahead and achieve these goals. And I have to say, when I hear that response, I'm a bit shocked, because there's no such thing where if you're going to go and if you're chasing a big audacious goal, right? A BHAG goal, a big, hairy, audacious goal, there's no such thing as you being perfect as you are. There's nothing that's ever got to change, right? And most of these stories, most of these people who say that are actually having failures in terms of some relationships of theirs, have had some setbacks. And what they are doing, I can see in the pattern, is moving forward and repeating those behaviors. And it's going to continue to impact them. Of course, it's not my place to tell them. It's my place to just listen to the answer and understand if, therefore, this person is open and willing to hear my guidance, right? Because if you're going to come into a coaching, if you're going to come in and hire me as your coach, you need to be open and willing and ready to hear my guidance, to be able to reflect on the questions that I'm going to ask you. And those questions are going to be deep, they're going to be hard, and it's going to ask you to look inward. We're always looking at things that are happening outside of us, but most often everything is within you. Your reaction, your response, your ability to understand, your ability to self-regulate, your ability to self-reflect, your ability to make change. Deep, meaningful change begins inside of you. So success is an inner game. And for this episode, if there's one question I'm going to leave you with, is for everything that you hope to achieve, for the distance that you're going, to the destination that you're headed, who do you need to become? What do you need to change? What do you need to learn? What do you need to expand? What do you need to be open to that'll get you there? That question is really important to you. You may not have the answer, but when you know that other answer that I get, which I know that, my God, I want to work with this person. They are hustlers. They are A players. They are people who will go out there and do whatever it takes. Are those people who tell me, I may not know the answer to that now, but whatever it requires me to be, whoever I need to become, I'm willing to do it, right? Tell me what to do. And it doesn't have to be tell me what to do, right? They'll say, whoever I need to become, I'm going to become. I'm going to be this person. And often that question leads to the fact that you want to be a CEO. Are you able to visualize yourself as a CEO? Are you able to visualize everything that becoming a CEO entails, right from, your own leadership, your own people management skills, your own ability to understand data, your own ability to be in touch with the customer, your emotional balance, there's so much more that it takes for you to become a successful CEO. Everyone can become a CEO, but not everyone can be a successful CEO, somebody who can lead their people, right? With that, in this episode, I want to leave you with that question. Who do you need to become? While you're trying to live your life on design, while you're trying to build this sustainable, successful business, while you're trying to build generational wealth, who do you need to become? So I'm going to leave you with that question. And let me tell you, if you don't already know the answer, the more you figure out who you need to become to reach those goals, the more you figure out what you need to change, the more you figure out what you need to learn, the faster you're going to get to the level of success that you desire. Okay, because you're focused on you and you're willing to see and navigate everything, all the roadblocks that's coming up in your pathway. It will help you prepare. Think about this. Somebody who's going to climb Everest, I had my sister go to Everest Base Camp, right? So we did a little bit of research into what this whole thing looks like. Otherwise, it was like, yeah, many people are going to Everest Base Camp till somebody in your family does it. You can't say that I'm going to go and climb Mount Everest and, I've been to the gym and I think I can do it, and how hard can it be? My neighbor did it and I'm going to go do it. You know what? That mountain, if you're not ready, that mountain demands you to be of a certain mindset, of a certain physical capacity and strength to be able to go and summit Everest. Not everybody can do it, and there are risks, inherent risks, right? Your journey to success, your dreams that you want to achieve, the goals that you want to achieve is going to demand XYZ things out of you. And that's why it's an inner game, because you need to be ready, you need to be prepared, you need to have trained enough so you're ready to summit, you're ready to hit the top of the peak. So success is an inner game. Remember that. Every time you hit a roadblock, ask yourself, what is it that I need to look at inside of me that I need to learn, that I need to see, that is not visible to me right now, that I'm missing when you hit a roadblock, because it's always an inner work. In fact, I remember one thing that my coach told me: if you are looking at personal development programs and you want to develop yourself, start a business, because it's going to demand so much out of you. It's the biggest personal development course you can ever take in your life, which is you start a business. And that lesson has always stayed with me, because every time in my business, there's so many things that I am struggling with, I'm navigating. I think about, okay, there's something in me that I've got to self-reflect. I have to go inward. And often that's where all the answers lie. With that, thank you for listening to me. I hope you liked what I had to share in today's bite-sized episode. And there's more to come. Let me know what you think about this. Leave me a feedback, leave me a review, leave me a rating. I hope it's good. And I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you and have a fantastic week. Thank you for listening to the podcast. If you like this episode and you want more, you can go to the show notes on my website, which is successwithsavita.com/podcast. If you like what you've heard so far, I would be grateful to you if you could leave me a 5-star review, subscribe to this podcast, and share with a friend who may find this useful. You can also follow me on my Instagram @SuccessWithSavita and DM me any questions you may have, and I will be happy to answer them for you. Until the next episode, believe in yourself and all the best to your success.